Where to, Mona?
Wherever the stars will guide us.
И слава солнца.
Какой разврат!
Доблесть солнца, могущество солнца, величие солнца.
Что? Тебе нехорошо? Мой милый чатик, иди сюда, я померю твою температуру. Люблю тебя больше, чем этого стримера.
Я больше не могу себя сдерживать! Восславим солнце!
Add Ast...
Всем привет, друзья! Мы начинаем добрый стримчанский под названием Genshin Impact в позднюю ночь с субботы на воскресенье. Всем большое спасибо, кто пришел. Это чисто, наверное, на часа два. Просто почилим, поиграем, попроходим что-нибудь и пойдем отдыхать. Давайте посмотрим.
Doing whatever I feel like, I suppose. Same with tomorrow. And the day after that.
О, Ксавье! 100 лет тебя не видели, бро. Йоу, здорово, мужик. Здравствуй, великий искатель приключений. Приветствую вас, великий режиссер Ксавье. Как дела? Как дела? О, ты говоришь то же самое, что и я. Друзья всегда понимают друг друга. Но раз я опередил тебя на полсекунды, то давай ты первый ответишь. Как обычно, я работаю на гильдию искателей приключений. Ха-ха, такая невозмутимость. Если бы кто-то другой мне так сказал, я бы решил, что это преувеличение. Но в твоем случае я уверен, что это правда. А я, как обычно, готовлюсь к съемкам следующего фильма. Недавно мне в голову пришла идея, сюжет для приключенческой истории. Незнакомцы в опасном путешествии вместе преодолевают множество испытаний. Да, я еще не решил, какие трудности им предстоит преодолеть, но все будет хорошо. Они станут героями, а что до концовки, я тоже еще не решил. Может быть, наши герои пойдут разными путями или продолжат тропу в царство сиквелов. Помимо этого, у меня есть еще несколько идей. Честно говоря, мне кажется, что у меня в голове целое море идей. Когда я ложусь спать, меня затапливает вдохновение. Плохо то, что мешает мне спать. Хорошо, что у меня всегда множество идей. Похоже, все идет по плану. Не все гладко. Например, вопрос финансирования и спонсоров. Иногда я встречаю щедрых спонсоров, иногда выдается такая отличная возможность, как кинофестиваль Фонтиналия. Но это происходит редко, поэтому приходится полагаться на собственные силы. Тебе нужна моя помощь? Спасибо за заботу, но нет, я не нуждаюсь в особой помощи. Я не хочу пользоваться добротой друзей, чтобы исполнить свои желания. Я только хочу, чтобы вы оставались моими друзьями и чтобы мы время от времени общались. Я найду способ собрать нужную сумму. Например, я снимаю рекламу для некоторых спонсоров. Не очень большой заработок, зато стабильный. Реклама? Да, с тех пор, как фильмы стали популярны, многие торговцы и организации заинтересовались этой инновационной формой рекламы. Они нанимают людей, чтобы придумать сценарий, а затем снимают ролик. В отличие от фильмов, рекламные ролики должны заинтересовать зрителей за короткое время, поэтому они должны быть короткими и оригинальными. И еще мне приходится учитывать интересы спонсоров. Иногда их предложения противоречат друг другу, а иногда просто не имеют смысла. Только никому не говори. Звучит непросто. Ничего, такова цена создания истории, которую я действительно хочу снимать. Это как есть морепродукты, невозможно добраться до сладкого мяса, не расколов раковину. Не так ли? Не беспокойтесь обо мне. Кроме того, если мои предыдущие примеры показались вам абсурдными, расскажу про одного спонсора. Он настоял на том, чтобы главный герой моего триллера, крутой бескомпромиссный парень, появился в начале фильма, попивая их детское молоко. Больше рекламных роликов, снятых отдельно, означает меньше размещения рекламы в моих фильмах. С этой точки зрения коммерческие съемки гораздо предпочтительнее. Да, кстати, есть кое-то, о чем я хотел бы тебя попросить. Что же это? Давненько мы не работали вместе, не так ли? Мы снимали много в прошлом, и получалось неплохо. Я помню, что тебе нравилось снимать фильмы. Может, попробуем снять рекламу вместе? Реклама немного отличается от фильмов, но это тоже очень интересно. Я уже отснял все нужные материалы. Тебе не придется бегать и снимать. Нужно лишь проявить немного креативности во время монтажа. Креативность мое все. Ага, заходи, как будет время. Не волнуйся о финальном продукте. Мне хочется опять с тобой поработать, а спонсоры за все заплатят. К тому же реклама должна быть интересной. Давай доверимся вдохновению. Кто знает, возможно, получится лучше, чем мы думаем. Следуя синопсису, выберите подходящие материалы для каждого кадра. Соберите их в завершенную пленку и закончите монтаж. Если монтировать согласно синопсису, можно получить восторженный отзыв. После того, как вы получите восторженный отзыв, ограниченное сценария будет снято, что позволит вам свободно выбирать количество использованных материалов и экспериментировать с окончательным вариантом разной длительности. Один и тот же материал может использоваться в одном сценарии до 3 раз. Доступные материалы и соответствующие реплики вы увидите в образе материалов. После монтажа можно сохранить окончательный вариант. Первая завершенная пленка будет установлена для репоста по умолчанию. Итоговый монтаж друзей доступен в записках монтажа. Блин, рано зашел. Через 7 часов только. Да уж. Итак, молодой мой дорогой друг, работа по монтажу официально началась. Наш первый заказ поступил от AstronYS. Они хотят, чтобы мы сделали рекламу их алхимических зелий, в которой использовали бы смелые контрастные кадры, чтобы подчеркнуть важность правильного выбора. Согласно моему наброску, мы должны сначала представить неудовлетворительные результаты, возникающие при употреблении обычных зелий. Затем использовать слова заказчика, чтобы рассказать всем, что это обычное явление. Наконец, мы можем показать эффект от употребления превосходных зелий. Я рекомендую тебе следовать этой логике при редактировании первой части. А затем посмотреть, как она выглядит, и собрать отзывы клиентов. Конечно, я поддержу твое художественное видение на 110%, так что не стесняйся делать монтаж по своему усмотрению. Ведь заказ пришел из города свободы, так что по благословению судьбы свободный и беспрепятственный монтаж может привести к неожиданным результатам. Кстати, я слышал, что зелья из Манштата могут даровать вдохновение. Как думаешь, помогут ли они мне в будущем улучшить свои режиссерские навыки? Ух ты! Офигенный монтаж. А вот чё никто не озвучивает опять? Надоели. Как бы описать, напоминает мне пригодителей, когда наставник заставил меня стоять перед химическими событиями. Наш второй заказ поступил от ресторана «Народный выбор» в Лиюэ. Еще одна реклама для привлечения новых клиентов. Честно говоря, эта реклама сначала меня встревожила. Я совсем ничего не знаю о кухне Лиюэ. Но мне очень повезло, я столкнулся с добросердечной поэтессой из Лиюэ, которая помогла мне написать очень запоминающий сценарий. Теперь, мой друг, не поможешь ли ты смонтировать это все, чтобы оно соответствовало логике сценария? Хотя должен сказать, что наша добрая поэтесса не выглядит слишком строгой, так что уверен, она не откажет тебе в некоторой творческой свободе. Но решать тебе, а я с нетерпением жду, когда увижу окончательный вариант.
Treating friends and family? Look no further than One Mean Restaurant. And our waiting staff love to provide service with a smile. Our renowned chefs bring you the very best with every bite.
Без озвучки моей любимой.
Hungry for change? Discover new flavors at One Mean Restaurant. Our diverse menu is sure to have a dish with your name on it. Why settle for less when you could be feasting like an adeptus? Loba! Not again! One Mean, where life tastes better.
Это прикольно я сделал, мне больше нравится. Ничего не понятно, но очень весело, как будто мы собрали все съедобное, что увидели по дороге, и сделали совсем новое блюдо. Пойдет, мне нравится, я не буду ничего переделывать. Мои видосы самые лучшие. Наш следующий заказ из Инадзумы, страны, где впервые встретились. Оглядываясь назад, могу сказать, что если бы не ты, чудесная страна Инадзума, я бы никогда не вступил на режиссерский путь. Мысли об этом навевают столько воспоминаний. Прошу прощения за отступление от темы. Клен хочет, чтобы мы прорекламировали новую колоду священного призыва семерых, сделав акцент на радостной атмосфере, когда группа друзей собирается вместе. Создать такую атмосферу для тебя не должно составить трудностей. Как и всегда, если у тебя есть другие идеи, не стесняйтесь делиться со мной. Я серьезно делаю. Будет прикольно.
Maybe I should save it up. Oh, I could buy my favorite novel.
Trifling obscures, anyone?
I'm gonna do that. Thanks, boss.
Это лучший монтаж. Нельзя атаковать воина Они одним и тем же приемом дважды. К сцене в рекламе это тоже относится. Это классно, я придумал. Заказ на социальную рекламу от Академии. Заказчик хочет предупредить новых студентов, что нужно с осторожностью выбирать свое направление обучения. Это не рекламе, а набора новых студентов. Похоже, мы сейчас к бабулечке пойдем. Следующее задание, как бы сказать, это социальная реклама и вовсе не реклама для набора новых студентов. Цель предупредить студентов, чтобы они были осторожны при выборе академического направления. Помни об этом и старайся не отвлекаться на некую ведущую актрису. Естественно, тебе предоставляется свобода творчества. Главное оставить неизгладимое впечатление у просмотревших студентов. Как сказала мне другая актриса, резать это тоже творчество. Давай посмотрим, что получится. А где озвучка?
Madam Farazan, letters from the students.
Thank you for your invitation, Madam Faruzan. I've given this a lot of thought, and in the end, I think I'm gonna focus on Kasharawar.
Sorry, Madam Farazan. While I'm very interested in mechanisms and ancient texts, I'm stretched thin as it is. I need to focus on my other classes.
Это такая фигня. Чего хочешь читать? Ай, не могу, забавно.
Доблесть солнца, могущество солнца, величие солнца.
Все что ли? Не волнуйся в финальном продукте. Мне хочется опять с тобой поработать, а спонсоры за все заплатят.
Phew. Hip.
Should be a lighthouse of truth.
Ну что, Коккоми, не пора ли тебя вкачать в хламину? Заканчиваются у меня эти штуки-то.
Rest and rebuild!
Illusion shattered! Burn it down!
Billowing surge! Liquefy! Swift is the swallow!
Inazuma shines eternal!
Up and away!
There is no escape! Light it up!
Allow me!
Picked the wrong test subject.
Illusion shattered!
Rest and rebuild! Dancing in the wind!
Rise with the sun! Shine down! Now you shall perish! There is no escape!
Turret, bring refuge! Ills be gone!
Wrath from the skies!
Picked. You win.
Incinerate!
The wrong test subject.
Burn it down!
Liquefy!
Illusion shattered! Light it up! Incinerate!
Swift is the swallow!
Inazuma shines eternal! Shine down!
Have a little taste.
Illusion shattered! Rise with the sun!
Ills be gone! Remnants of the deep!
There is no escape! Light of the blazing sun! Time to buckle down. Shine down! Now you shall perish!
Hold the line!
Burn it down!
The wrong test subject.
Illusion shattered! Light it up!
Butterfly! Dancing in the wind!
Torn to oblivion! Remove all obstacles.
Rest and rebuild!
Cheap trick.
Billowing surge!
Wrath from the skies!
Cut down. The wrong test subject.
Добро пожаловать в клуб десяточек, Рейден Шогун. Ну вот и все, ребята. Теперь у меня все мои красавицы с десяточками. Все до единой. Непобедимы. Или что, у меня осталось 9 миллионов 286 тысяч. Неплохо. Игра пройдена, ребята.
There is no escape! Ha! Illusion shattered! Shine down!
Hold the line! Up and away! Swift as the swallow. Yep.
Add Thank you for complete.
Haven't you heard? There's a strange boy.
Ой, у Джинни день рождения 14-го было. Все пропустил. Блин. Как же так, моя Джинни? Капец, у них сколько день рождений, а я все пропустил, ребята. Да уж. песня полой луны. Так, и пропущенные дни рождения. Беннет. Эх, это уже третье письмо, которое я пишу сегодня. Первое было наполовину написано, но потом я случайно чай на него пролил. Второе письмо унесло ветром сразу после того, как я вышел из дому. И думаю, оно, наверное, решило сдать экзамен на летную лицензию. Ха-ха, ничего страшного. Уж что, а это письмо точно дойдет до тебя. А теперь к сути. Во время вчерашнего приключения меня снова стукнуло по голове камнем, что в общем-то бывает, но на этот раз вскочила здоровенная шишка. Я подумал, что этот камень особенный, и действительно, когда я принес его домой, папы сказали, что из него можно что-нибудь выковать. Положу его в конверт с письмом. Надеюсь, оно тебе пригодится. Эти дни я буду залечивать ушиб. Не волнуйся за меня. Дай найти такой камень, точно знак, что у меня началась светлая полоса в жизни. Вперед, отряд Бенни, в этом году отправимся еще дальше. У костров можно молиться. Не помню, для чего именно нужны благословения. Или кто ко мне о них рассказал, но благословение это хорошо. Так написано в моих записях. Я хочу благословить тебя. Этого я не забуду. У меня много дров. Хочу вместе с тобой разжечь огонь. Когда ты рядом, жар мне не страшен. Но господин Бай сказал, что лучше приклеить лепестки туманного цветка на лоб. Приятно охлаждает и успокаивает. Когда ты придешь, я наклею их и тебе. И у Яо-Яо тоже день рождения. Маленькие зяблики поют для тебя, а рыбки весело кружатся в танце. Я тоже отправляю тебе письмо, чтобы пожелать счастливой весны. Хотя весна уже пришла, на улице все еще прохладно. Как говорится, река не замерзает за один холодный день. Так что, думаю, холод задержится еще ненадолго. Ночью обязательно укрывайся потеплее. Особенно живот, чтобы не простудиться. Ну вот, о важном сказано. Давай поговорим о прогулке. В такой солнечный день самое время выйти на весеннюю прогулку. Я приготовила закусок из свежих фруктов, чтобы перекусить в пути. Наставница говорит, это называется отведать весны. Считается хорошей приметой. Ну ладно, увидимся позже. Недавно в ресторане «Народный выбор» обедали двое посетителей. Когда они уходили, женщина со слезами сказала своему спутнику: «Отношения, в которых делят только радости, но не горести, подобны зыбучим пескам Сумеру». Поначалу я не понимала глубокого смысла этих слов, но наблюдая со своими компаньонами, постепенно осознала, что даже между близкими людьми бывают не только радостные моменты. Сян Лин часто жалуется шеф-повару Мао на сложности с готовкой, а наставница всегда напоминает мне, чтобы я сразу рассказывала о своих проблемах, когда нахожусь вдали от дома. Я надеюсь, что и мы с тобой сможем достичь такого уровня доверия. Поэтому, пожалуйста, расскажи мне о своих тревогах, а я внимательно выслушаю и, если потребуется, сделаю все возможное, чтобы помочь. Что касается моих забот, пожалуй, я расскажу о них при личной встрече. С днем рождения, Шэньхэ. Так, и у нашей кошки-жены тоже было день рождения, но мы все пропустили. 14 марта. Ух, сегодня я поставила будильник слишком рано. Я не выспалась. Но что поделаешь, когда я сплю, меня не разбудить. Только же заставлять друзей ждать снаружи. Однажды на мой день рождения Качина пришла рано утром с подарком. И увидев, что я еще сплю, рано утром ждала меня у двери с подарком. В итоге она прождала до заката, а я все спала. Только когда проходившая мимо Мавуика выбила дверь, ей удалось меня разбудить. После того дня рождения я специально сделал будильник для дня рождения, который срабатывает только в день моего рождения. Ах да, сегодня ко мне заходила Качина, и мы вместе с ней сделали много конфет. Она сказала, что они очень вкусные, и я тебе немного оставила. Постой-ка, а где Мавуйка? Надеюсь, она не затевает какую-нибудь шалость. Хе-хе-хе. Ух ты, особое блюдо шалонен. Сидя рядом с ней на ветвях дерева, вы получаете изящную коробочку, полную конфет разной формы. Какаутуль на самом деле считается фруктом, так что конфеты из какафуля и молока можно смело назвать фруктовыми. Ну же, давай попробуем. Сказав она быстро хватает одну конфету и с удовольствием закидывает ее в рот. Хе-хе. Прикольно. Джинни! И у ней тоже день рождения. Давным-давно мать написала мне, что экспедиция Орда Фавониус достигла значительного прогресса. Было принято решение, основываясь на новых уликах, собранных в пути, магистр ордена отправится в Нот-Край для дальнейших поисков и проверки, в то время как она и другие рыцари получили приказ вернуться в гарнизон Тернового порта. Хотя расстояние между Терновым портом и Манштафтом не такое уж большое, мы с матерью были слишком заняты службой и не виделись все это время. Я думала, что так будет продолжаться и дальше, но вчера вечером мать вместе с Барбарой вдруг появились у входа в штаб-квартиры ордена. Силуэт матери на ветру был все так же строен и величествен. Увидев после долгой разлуки и улыбки, я чуть не забыл ответить рыцарским приветствием. Я проведу этот редкий день с семьей. Я испекла много угощений к чаю. Если у тебя будет время, прошу, присоединяйся к нам. С уважением, твоя дорогая Джинни. А что это за новое блюдо? Почему у меня его нету? Пицца с грибочками. Странно, конечно, это все. Любопытно. Подробности обновления, это мы все видели. Мероприятие. О, разлив артерий земли опять. Качина! Welcome back. Больше врагов, больше осторожности. Когда в области турбо-бура навыка, ну теперь все, и более врагов защиты активно признано, в этой области повышается на 8. Ничего себе. Убийца Качина.
best rattan furniture is made from strand. That are smooth, thin, and strong like silk. My mind is completely blank. I need to get out and unwind. This is how it must be. Just sharpen my spear. Ready for trial. Time for afternoon tea.
me scry.
Finally, I wrote out my question and put it in the book. Wait, I guess. Let's give it some time. I'll come back tomorrow to check on it. Don't worry about me if you have other things to do. I see. Thanks. I appreciate it. Alright then, let's meet up here tomorrow. I really hope this silly replies. Time to look at the letter. Please let there be a stamp. Please let there be a stamp. There's a red stamp on it. The silly responded. Fantastic.
Твое настроение заметно улучшилось.
This is wonderful. My troubles are at an end. I can't even begin to express how grateful I am. Let's take a look at what it wrote. Thank you for your letter. Though I have extended a response, I cannot answer your query due to your questionable motives. Questionable motives? Me? Wait, huh? Okay, let's see. Completing a thesis requires independent thought and work. You planned on using my knowledge to complete your paper's most critical portions. That's not right. However, considering that your deadline is fast approaching, and that there is substance to the content in the completed sections of your thesis, I've decided to help you nonetheless. Follow the hints I've left, and you will find the answer to your question. Consider the effort you put into thinking and searching as your payment for my knowledge. What the... It's absolutely right about everything. Oh, I'm starting to feel guilty now. I can't deny any of it. But I'm running out of time. Oh, what should I do?
Может, эта фея просто дразнит тебя?
Good point. Why else would it use such a roundabout way to tell me its answer? Supposedly, everyone who's been pranked by the silly had angered it in some way. That means the silly is someone who's very strict and serious about knowledge. But who knows if it's really a silly or some person.
Главное уложиться в срок до сдачи работы.
True. And if I don't get an answer, then I'll only have wasted more time. Oh, but there's nothing else we can do. It's the one holding all the cards. It's completely hidden and can choose whether to help us or not. After all, it'd probably be impossible to find it and ask my question in person.
Хорошая идея.
Huh? I was just kidding. Oh, please don't take me seriously. It's the silly we're talking about. According to legend, sillies are elusive and can create countless copies of themselves. Who's to say that it won't summon a shooting star to crush us once we find it?
Ты же не можешь всерьез верить в эти легенды?
Sorry. I'm just a little panicky. Okay, Layla. Calm down and think. If the Sealy is a person, then there has to be a way to track them down. We have two possible leads right now. The first is the checkout logs of those two books, and the other is the red stamp. The red stamp bears the AstronYS emblem, which is used by a lot of people. It'll be hard to track down an individual, so we should probably start with the checkout logs.
Согласен, логично.
Let's go and make an inquiry. We can also ask around the House of Dana and see if anyone else knows something about the Wisdom Sealy. Hi there. Do you know anything about the Wisdom Sealy?
Yes, of course. I've been looking into it for quite a while now. However, I feel like I'm still missing some key pieces of information. Hey, maybe if we put our heads together, we can figure something out.
Sure. I'll try my best.
There are a few known traits of the Wisdom Sealy. First, it's extremely strong. It can easily carry a few dozen books, along with 4 or 5 pieces of astrology equipment all at once. It's extremely athletic as well. It only moves in a straight line and doesn't stop for anything, not even walls or rivers. Lastly, it has a number of special abilities. It has a hardened metal body that's impervious to injury. It can freeze water into ice, and it can also summon meteors.
That doesn't even sound human.
Словно сказочный герой.
Well, it is a legend after all. It's no surprise that some details seem a little exaggerated. But these aren't just made up, you know. Each of its abilities has been confirmed by eyewitnesses. There have been many sightings too, including at Chatrakam Cave, the Avidia Forest, and around the waterfall south of Sumeru City.
Has anyone seen what it actually looks like? Or what kind of person it is?
Not that I know of. No one's been able to get close to it. It seems like it tries to stay out of sight. I would probably want to remain a mystery too, if I were someone as legendary as the Wisdom Sealy. So what do you make of it? Have you seen it somewhere as well?
No. We're probably gonna need some time to digest all the, incredible information you've provided us.
Not a problem. But if you manage to find anything, be sure to come and tell me about it. I trust that you'll quickly discover the excitement of slowly unraveling the truth. Please, remember to share any new information you come across.
Hi there. Have you heard of the legend of the Wisdom Sealy?
Do I really look like the kind of student that would be interested in such a pointless legend?
Ну какой дерзкий.
Oh, I'm sorry. We were just curious.
Well, I do happen to have some information on it.
Тогда почему ты сразу об этом не сказал?
Huh? Logically, that has nothing to do with the question I asked. don't want others to see me as some poor excuse for a student whiling away my time in the House of Dana.
I don't really think bad students would come to the House of Dana to pass the time. But anyways, you were saying?
Well, I spend most of my time here, and I have noticed something odd before. One time, late at night, a black shadow fell from above and landed in the central area of the House of Dana. Of course, I was a little sleepy at the time, but it startled me, and I got up to see what was going on.
And then what happened?
Then, the shadow quickly circled behind me with incredible speed. Just as I tried to turn around to get a look at it, I fainted.
Какая могучая тень.
Yes, it was unbelievably fast. I had never seen anything like it. It was so unusual that I wasn't sure if it was real or if I was half dreaming. But given how popular the legend of the Seelie has become lately, maybe this has something to do with it.
Don't take this the wrong way, but doesn't the House of Dana have a door?
It was closed that night. I suppose even the House of Dana needs to be closed for maintenance from time to time.
I see. That makes sense. But what were you doing here if the House of Dana was closed?
Don't look so surprised. It's a common practice to find a place to hide before they lock the doors, so you can continue reading books here. Everyone knows that.
Хорошо, что нам не приходится учиться вместе, это было бы тяжело.
Anyway, thank you for the info. I'll be sure to take note of everything you mentioned.
You're welcome. If you don't have any more questions, I'm gonna go back to my books now.
Delved into destiny.
Oh, hello there. Can I help you?
Hello. I'm a AstronYS student and would like to see the checkout logs for theoretical astrology and a quick reference guide to astrology cases.
Oh, are you also here to investigate the AstronYS Wisdom Seelie legend?
Also? I suppose it makes sense that we're not the only ones investigating such a popular legend.
Yes, I myself am also quite curious about it, but unfortunately I haven't found anything out of the ordinary. Given you're a AstronYS student, I'm sure you know that a lot of research references these two books. All our copies of these particular titles are frequently checked out. I have looked into it, but found no irregularities in the checkout logs.
Is there any chance the Seelie could have taken the books out and returned them without being noticed?
Not likely. That would be almost impossible. The House of Dana is extremely strict about the circulation of its books. There will always be a record if a book is checked out. And even if it managed to figure out a way to take the books without leaving any record, it's possible that someone would come looking to borrow the books before the Seelie returned them. If someone discovers that a book is missing or that it doesn't match my inventory records, it would come to my attention immediately. However, it might be possible to pull off in the case of a less popular book.
Okay, I understand now, thank you. This is useful to know. With any luck, it'll help us work out the Seelie's identity. Okay, everyone's given us a lot of useful information. Let's go through it and try to organize everything. Some things we heard were pretty straightforward, but others were just ridiculous.
Мы должны выяснить больше о личности и расположении феи.
Yeah. Let me think and see what I can make of it. Okay, calm down, Layla. I know the info's all over the place, but you can definitely do it. First, let's try to figure out the Seelie's identity based on the clues we currently have. Then, we'll analyze where it's been sighted and its motives. Finally, we'll piece everything together. From there, we should be able to predict its movement. Alright, let's give it a try. Book circulation is strictly regulated, and there is a log of anyone who checks out a book. The stamp. Which probably means they're a AstronYS student. It once infiltrated the house of Dana while it was closed. I think I heard somewhere that it has a lot of ridiculous abilities. It's been to the Chatrakham Cave, the Avidya Forest, and the waterfall south of Sumeru City. I may be able to come up with a more concrete lead if I keep thinking. Okay, I think I've got it now.
Итак, с какими выводами ты пришла?
First, based on the information Katayun provided, we can assume that the Seelie is a student from the AstronYS Darshan. The possibility of it being someone outside the Darshan can be ruled out because it'd be impossible to gain access to those two books without going through the librarian. Next, leaving its crazy abilities aside, all the sightings took place in locations that are officially recommended for astrology observation by the academia. In other words, it's probably just conducting research, and the nature of its research is very similar to mine. The question that I submitted was no simple query, but it was able to give me a reply in just a day. This implies that it's familiar with a similar field of knowledge. So based on this reasoning, all we have to do is wait for it at the next astrological observation site.
Очень убедительное рассуждение.
It's nothing, really. There are actually some other factors that I've been speculating about. But that's not important right now. Let's get going. Even though we have a lead, it's still hard to say whether we'll be able to make any discoveries. I'll tell you what I mean by that if the Sealy doesn't show up.
There's really no...
The weather today is perfect for observation. Let's see if it shows up. Honestly, spending an entire night waiting for something that we're not sure is gonna happen might not be the best use of our time. But we don't really have any choice. This is all we've got. Get some sleep if you're tired. I'll be up. It's not like I could sleep anyways.
Я побуду с тобой, моя дорогая Лайла.
Thanks. Oh, how about I share some basics about astrology with you? If you're interested, that is. Sure enough, it didn't show up. We hardly saw any animals, let alone people. No matter how conclusive the evidence is or how perfect our reasoning may be, nothing will happen as long as I'm awake.
Милая Лайла, ты говоришь про фею мудрости или про милость звезд?
They're probably one and the same. It's like I told you, I have a severe sleeping disorder, and there have been a lot of rumors about me sleepwalking. I tried to understand what I had been doing when I'm unconscious, but I've never been able to get any definitive evidence. Something is actively attempting to cover up all the clues without my knowing. Maybe that something is me. Or maybe it isn't. I can't be sure. For all I know, I could even be the Sealy. But what if I am? Would the Sealy be willing to help me this time? What is it actually thinking? I really have no idea.
Что, если я тебе помогу, милая Лайла?
Huh? You want to help me? Of course, it would be nice to know what's really going on. But that's impossible. It's always avoiding me and keeping me in the dark. And that won't change even if you're around.
Раз она так сильно хочет обо всем узнать, наверное, мы должны найти способ распространить другую Лайлу.
Huh? What's wrong?
О, ничего, может и правда у нас ничего не выйдет.
Yeah. And to think I could have been working on my thesis this whole time. My stomach is churning just thinking about it.
Теперь ты и правда не успеешь закончить ее вовремя.
Please stop. The more you talk about it, the more silly I feel. Oh, come on, Layla. What are you doing? Everyone's gonna start thinking you're crazy now. Oh no. I'm losing it. So dizzy.
Мне жаль, что я тебя так расстроил.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got distracted there. Where were we?
Она, кажется, пришла в себя, значит ли это?
Oh, what's wrong? You look like you've got something on your mind.
Ты другая Лайла?
Hmm? What are you talking about? What do you mean the other Layla? I am Layla.
Тогда скажи, о чем мы сейчас разговаривали.
Fine. It appears that you were waiting for me to show up. I suppose there's no use in me pretending. I promise I don't mean any harm and I'll answer all your questions. But before that, would you mind telling me who you are first?
Мы с Лайлой друзья. Я пытаюсь помочь ей закончить научную работу.
Let me think. Okay, I got it. You two found this place by following the hints that I left behind. You were planning to wait for me. Or I should say you were waiting for the Sealy to show up. Was this your idea or hers?
По большей части ее.
I see. Yes, she's always had great analytical skills. It'd be nice if she was more confident, though. All right, that's all the questions I have. Your turn. Please ask away.
Ты есть фея мудрости, да?
That's right. Though I didn't intend for it to turn out this way, really. I just wanted to help out a few other classmates who were having a hard time while I was helping Layla finish her thesis. You see, Layla doesn't have many friends at the academia. If the others noticed her helping them out, I thought maybe I'd help her become more sociable. Unfortunately, that didn't really work out. Instead, legends of the Sealy started going around. But that's alright.
Почему фея иногда подшучивает над людьми?
I can instantly tell which students are asking serious questions and which are just trying to take advantage of me to slack off. My time to move freely is quite limited, so it's only natural that I would punish the people attempting to waste my time. My intention is to help people. I'm not here to cause any harm.
Ты правда проникла в дом Дэйны? У тебя есть суперспособности?
Infiltrating the house of Dana was a total accident. She'd forgotten an important book, and the house of Dana happened to be closed at the time. There were only days before the paper was due. I had no choice but to scale the walls with some simple climbing ropes and sneak in from above while the Core 30 wasn't paying attention. I had no idea there was still a student inside. I had no choice but to put him to sleep. Any clear evidence of my existence would only hinder my ability to conceal my identity. It would also expose me to Layla as well. As for the special powers, well, they're just things I did during the process of trying to finish the thesis. It's like I said, I don't have much time, so I need to be as efficient as possible. Well then, does that answer all your questions?
Ну, вообще-то у меня есть еще один, последний. Почему ты не хочешь, чтобы она знала о твоем существовании?
You see, her emotions are incredibly unstable. She's constantly doubting herself. If she knew that there's another Layla who is capable of doing everything, she may think even less of herself. She could think, maybe I should just leave it all to her. I'm always relying on her anyway. Why not let her live my life for me? She might start thinking about giving up completely, and that's the exact opposite of what I'm trying to do for her. After all, she and I are one and the same. We're two sides of the same coin. No one knows her greatest strength more than I do. It's her resilience. If she's able to persevere in everything she does, then one day she won't need my help anymore. I trust that she's capable of doing that, and it's something that she should do on her own.
Вот как.
She actually discovered the key data she needs for her thesis a long time ago. She just didn't organize it well enough. I'll complete her thesis for her just as I have in the past. Oh, please don't share any of this with her. I would like to keep this a secret for both of our sakes.
Понимаю.
Thank you for doing this for me. No, for us. She seems to be waking up now. Well, this is goodbye. If we never meet again, then I guess I did something right. Huh? Did I faint? Or did I fall asleep?
С тобой все в порядке? Ты просто немного вздремнула.
Oh, I see. Was I sleepwalking? I was, wasn't I?
Нет, не ходила.
Really? I don't believe you. You're hiding something from me. It's written all over your face.
Вовсе нет.
You said you were gonna help me, didn't you? Why are you holding out on me now? Please tell me. You promised you'd help. This is the place that immediately came to mind when the hint mentioned a crossroad. I came here to conduct some astrological observation once. Everything went smoothly on the way, and I thought I was starting to get used to life at the academia. But just as I was about to set up the observation equipment, I heard a strange sound coming from nearby. I made my way here and discovered a bunch of bandits robbing someone. They were a group of treasure hoarders, and the family that was being mugged looked completely helpless. They definitely wouldn't have been able to escape, and Simply handing over their Mora might not have been enough to make the bandits go away.
То есть ты хотела помочь, но не могла?
Not exactly. I already had a vision by that time. Someone with a vision should technically be really powerful, right? Handling a group of treasure hoarders should be well within my abilities. However, I didn't know how to channel the power of the elements to fight at that time, and I was super scared. I wielded immense power, but I didn't feel any stronger than just an ordinary person.
А что было потом?
Then I ran away. I scrambled towards Sumeru City looking for help. Eventually, I managed to return with a few adventures I ran into along the way. It took longer than I had hoped, and by the time we made it back here, the treasure hoarders and the family were gone. I don't know if the family only lost their belongings in the end, or if something worse happened to them. I faced a lot of problems after coming to Sumeru City, but this incident is one that I regret the most. I sat on the ground and began to cry. I could have stepped in to help that family. Would it have ended differently if I were just a little braver?
Ты сделала правильный выбор.
Aw, thank you for trying to comfort me, but I can't stop myself from thinking that way. It's just as the silly said. Turning back shouldn't be an option. However, I can't help but think about running away whenever I'm faced with a challenge.
Давай сделаем перерыв в поисках и немного отдохнем.
But what about my thesis? We still haven't found the silly's answer yet.
Здоровье важнее научной работы.
Sorry for causing you so much trouble.
Давай найдем местечко для отдыха.
Alright, I actually don't have much stamina. I've been stressed this whole time and I feel exhausted. I'm really sorry. Let's stop here. I don't think I can walk any further.
Я приготовлю еду и сок для тебя, милая Лайла.
Alright, I'm gonna give my legs a rest. I'll be waiting for you here. I feel bad for making you go through so much trouble for me. Oh, if only I were more capable.
У каждого свои таланты. Не говори так, пожалуйста.
I'm sorry. I always find myself having to apologize. But enough of that. I need to pull myself together. The memories I've been reminded of are all really taxing. I cannot just give up this time, even if my head's not in a good place. Letting these heavy feelings get the best of me will only slow us down. Watch out! Behind you!
Что-то случилось?
Monsters! A lot of them too. Why didn't we see them coming?
Я ими займусь, это не отнимет много времени.
No, I'll fight too.
Тебе надо отдохнуть.
But I want to help. I can't just sit back and watch you while you fight. Don't worry, I can handle myself. I mustn't keep repeating my past regrets. That's the most valuable lesson I've learned today. I should take action when I'm needed and give it my all when the moment calls. If you miss those opportunities in life, you may never get another chance to make up for them. I suppose that's fate.
Понимаю.
All right, let's take them all down.
Let me scry. Out of the frying pan, into the fire. Eat. Surprise! Yeah.
My guiding stars. Stars, shine for me.
Shadows of fate. Boba, get them!
Not now.
Over here. Yeah. Yeah. Cue the spotlight. Let me scry.
The night is cold. Cold. Mine to command.
Written in the stars.
My guiding stars.
Nice and spicy. You're toast. Shadows of fate.
Stars, shine for me.
Surprise! Yeah!
Don't be scared. That's against the rules. The night is cold.
Fate is upon you. Let me scry.
My guiding stars.
Let the magic begin. Step on up.
Stars, shine for me. The night is cold.
Shadows of fate. Hey-ya! Out of the frying pan, into the fire. Written in the stars.
Cold. Mine to command. I keep up with my training. It's embarrassing to be out of breath so quickly like this.
Ты в порядке, моя любимая Лайлочка?
Well, the only appropriate response would be to say that I'm fine, right? I'm pale due to lack of sleep, not because of the fight. But then again, I know you'd be able to see right through those words. I'm feeling weak. There's no hiding it. I'm just happy I didn't get in your way during the fight.
Ты отлично себя показала.
Oh, thanks for the compliment. I sure don't get to hear that often. Although I may not be physically strong, my will is as resilient as they come. I'll be fine after I rest for a bit. Can you stay with me while I recover my energy? It shouldn't take long.
Несмотря на слабость, она все же не осталась в стороне. Может, хотела что-то себе доказать, а может, просто не хотела потом сожалеть о случившемся.
Over here!
Delved into destiny.
Oh, we meet again. Sorry, but I don't really have time to chat right now.
Планируешь навестить круче зверя?
Oh, come to think of it, I haven't seen Twirly Whirly in a long time. But no, now's not the time for that. I was originally looking up some information at the House of Dana, but the more I read, the more I realized that my thesis is horribly lacking. I should have been done with the first draft of my thesis by now, but I've barely written a third.
Так, и что ты теперь собираешься делать?
Well, I guess I have to keep looking up as much info as possible. I shouldn't give up now. But who am I kidding? Maybe I'm not cut out to be a researcher. Maybe I shouldn't have come to the academia in the first place. All I've done is cause trouble for my advisor and classmates. I should probably notify my advisor sooner than later, so he can focus his attention on the other students.
У тебя есть еще время.
I don't need to be honest. I haven't slept a wink for days. Just thinking about the awful state of my thesis keeps me up at night. Lack of sleep hinders my ability to focus, and if I can't focus, I can't do any proper research or thinking. I'm stuck in a vicious cycle. I've seen the caliber of the other academia students. They're all geniuses and fast learners. I'm nowhere near as gifted as they are. Oh, if it wasn't for someone who's been helping me out, my advisor probably would have kicked me out of the Darshan by now.
Тебе помогает мудрец?
If that was the case, I would have already left on my own. Just the idea of being watched by a sage is terrifying. This might sound strange, but I actually don't know who's been helping me. I don't even know if they're a person or not. Due to my lack of sleep, I sometimes get dizzy and faint when I'm stressed out.
Все зашло настолько далеко.
Yeah, but oddly enough, when I wake up, all the things I was stressing over are taken care of. My homework's somehow finished before the deadline, and my papers are perfectly written. But that's not all. My flowers are watered, laundry's done, even my broken camera was fixed. I really don't know what's going on, but for now, I'm calling the phenomenon a blessing from the stars. Maybe the stars above decided to help out after seeing all the effort I put into my research. If that's even possible.
Звучит довольно необычно.
But there's no point in me studying at the academia if I keep relying on this mysterious phenomenon. It comes down to my own efforts, improving one step at a time. How else can I honor my parents and live up to the expectations of everyone who knows me? Oh no, I've already spent too much time chatting. I still haven't made much headway on my thesis. At this rate, I'll need the Wisdom Sealy's help. Yes, but time's of the essence, so I have to take what I can get. Sorry. I'm just making excuses. But the Wisdom Sealy is truly amazing and freely shares its endless knowledge. If you want its help, all you have to do is write down your question and you'll get a response a short while later.
Феи такое умеют?
No one knows who or what it actually is. It's just known as the Wisdom Sealy. But getting an answer all comes down to the Sealy's mood. Sometimes it'll only give you a vague answer or play tricks on you. I'm pretty sure a researcher wouldn't do something like that. All I can do right now is hope that it helps me.
А как же милость звезд?
Who knows if it'll happen this time? I can't put all my eggs in one basket. Trying my luck with another phenomenon is better than doing nothing.
Рискованно писать работу, полагаясь на сомнительную легенду.
You're right. I need to keep a level head. I don't have time to waste. But what do we do from here? I can't just go back and start packing to leave.
Тебе стоит отдохнуть.
Rest? But my deadline's just around the corner. Oh, I don't think I can afford to rest right now.
Вот так себя подгоняя, ты только потеряешь еще больше времени.
You do have a point. Oh, sorry. I tend to panic easily, as you can see. Then how should I rest? I definitely won't be able to sleep. As soon as I close my eyes, all kinds of thoughts start floating into my head.
Посидим в кафе Пуспа.
Oh, that's a good idea. A cup of coffee might help clear my head. Let's go.
Пуспа кафе.
Scry the sky.
Ну чё, блин, не могли сделать вход через балкон? Я бы и через балкон зашел бы.
Let's sit down here and have some coffee and sweets. It'll help me put my thoughts together. No. We're here to rest. My problems will have to wait for now.
Oh, hey, Layla.
Huh?
Прости, кто ты?
I'm one of Layla's classmates. I just came by to say hi. We just submitted our theses and we're totally beat. Everyone will be meeting here to celebrate. Seeing how relaxed you look, you must have already had your thesis finished ages ago.
Oh, no, I'm actually having a lot of trouble with it.
You say that every time we talk, but you've never missed a deadline. Not only that, your papers are always well written and thorough. Your advisor is constantly praising your work. Yet you're always going around saying stuff like, I can't make it, I don't understand, I'm super worried. That kind of talk doesn't reflect your work at all, you know.
Well,
К чему ты клонишь?
For starters, she doesn't even try to participate with the group at all. It's one thing that she's not willing to help us, but she doesn't even bother showing up for our discussion meetings. Every time we come to see her, she looks out of sorts and on the verge of a breakdown. It's not like we can't finish our own theses without her, but no one wants to always see her this way.
I know. Sorry.
Лайла не вписывается в стандарты, но кто сказал, что это проблема, а? Хочешь, я тебя втащу?
Whatever. There's no point in starting an argument here.
Вали отсюда, Мунира, чтобы я тебя больше не видел.
If you think she can justify her behavior, then that's your opinion.
Я тебе сейчас морду-то набью.
Thanks for standing up for me.
Да не за что, моя Лайлочка. Конечно. Золотце ты. Лунушка ты наша.
I really want to help the others, but most of the time I'm barely scraping by myself. There's very little I can help with.
Ты не хочешь, чтобы остальные узнали о милости звезд?
Yeah, I can't ever tell my classmates about that. I'd be a mess if they ever reported it to my advisor. It's really just a big misunderstanding, and there's nothing I can do about it. Everyone just gives me weird looks and judges me. It's making it really difficult to find friends.
Теперь я твой друг.
It's actually pretty rare for someone to actively engage in a conversation with me, like you do.
Думаю, я понимаю, в каком ты положении.
Huh? What do you mean?
Ты считаешь, что милость звезд — это внешняя сила, которой ты не управляешь.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Seems you know just as well as I do. The thing is, I'm terrible under pressure. That's just my nature. Even the thought of everyone's expectations back home is enough to make me feel nervous. And the more nervous I get, the worse things become around me. Take what Munira just said, for example. I don't think I'll be able to get it out of my mind for the entire day. That means I won't be able to relax at all today.
Почему бы не встретиться с проблемой лицом к лицу? Нужно придумать, что может тебе расслабиться как следует.
Completely relax? But we're at a cafe. Is this not relaxing enough?
Занятие — это лишь часть жизни.
I know, but... Alright, no more buts. My life is a mess because of the decisions I've made for myself. I should listen to your advice this time. How do I completely relax?
Ты ведь родилась в деревне? Может, нам прогуляться за город и полюбоваться пейзажами?
Sightseeing. That does sound pretty nice. I haven't set foot outside the academia in quite a while. I used to enjoy visiting the rainforest, but it's been a while since I've been there. Maybe a lot has changed. Okay, why don't we go there and take a look?
Та-тан, та-тан-тан-тан-тан-тан, та-та-та-та-тан-тан.
Divination is about precisely foretelling one's written destiny. Over-embellishing that fate only leads to misconception. astrologers must rid themselves of material desires. Only by ridding oneself of clutter can one see the true world around them.
Еще чайку налево. И играть пойдем.
Even the air here feels more relaxing. I just want to forget about the thesis altogether. I'm just kidding. Knowing me, I'd only be able to forget about it for a little while. This doesn't count as trying to avoid my problems, does it?
Если хочешь справиться с задачей, душевное состояние не менее важно, чем эффективность.
That's quite the legitimate excuse. No, it's more of an explanation. Even I'm starting to get bolder with my words. I grew up in a place like this, looking into the distance now with the breeze in my face makes me feel like a kid again. Oh, those were the happiest days.
Чем ты в детстве обычно занималась?
I had a bunch of friends back then, and we would go pick wild berries in the woods. No matter what ingredients we found, we would cook them over a fire, and whoever lost one of our games would have to eat all of it.
Звучит сурово.
No, it wasn't that bad. It really depended on how lucky you were. Grilled apples and poinsettias are actually quite delicious.
Почему бы и нам не поискать чего-нибудь, а потом зажарить на костре?
Sure. I haven't done that in ages. Let's go. Apples and zaytun peaches were the most popular fruits back then. Oh, and of course grilled fish is delicious too. Oh, fish skin releases oils while cooking, which drip into the fire and cause it to burn even brighter. But we would always get yelled at by the grown-ups if they caught us sneaking into the river to catch fish. What's the big deal? We just want to swim. That's what we used to say. But now that I think about it, it really was quite dangerous. Thank goodness nothing bad ever happened. I think we found enough now, don't you? Alright, these should be enough. There's nothing like the smell of fresh ingredients. They already smell delicious. I'll be here cleaning the ingredients. Can you please fetch some firewood for us?
Fate is called as such, for it cannot be changed, nor can it be reversed. It can only but be accepted. Divination is about precisely foretelling one's written destiny, over-embellishing that fate only leads to misconception.
I'll be here washing the ingredients. Can you please fetch some firewood for us?
Shadows of fate!
My guiding stars! Don't be scared!
Boba, get them! Be amazed! Out of the frying pan, into the fire! Eat this!
The night is cold.
Fate is upon you!
Not now. The night is cold.
Let me scry!
Вместе с Лавой вы разжигаете костер и наслаждаетесь вкусной едой.
Fresh food is the best. I feel like I've traveled back in time. We all used to run around in the woods when we were kids. Trees and mud was the world we knew best. It doesn't matter how long I'm away from the forest, I won't ever forget the feeling of running through the trees. Oh, how about you? Can you relate to that feeling? It's almost like not knowing the world will change or ever expecting it to change.
Искателям приключений редко случается задержаться в одном месте, но я надеюсь однажды испытать это чувство.
Whatever the case, it's a very warm feeling. In the end, I passed the admissions exam, and the life I had led came to an abrupt end. Later, as I sat in a lecture at the academia, my mind started to wander and I began to think about home. It was then that I realized how long it had been since I went back. I can't go back anymore, and other similar thoughts started to come to mind. I guess I'm still not used to being in the academia yet.
У каждого этапа в жизни свое назначение.
You're right. So we should let go of the past. I suppose this is also part of growing up. but reminiscing about the carefree life of being a kid sure works wonders for the mind. You start missing those moments once you leave them behind, and that's part of moving forward. From now on, I'd like to cherish every single day of my life, even when it's not the smoothest of rides.
Все наладится, Лайлочка. Ты обязательно со всем справишься.
I'll take the compliment. A little bit of sugar and a good view really go a long way for relaxation. I thought it'd be impossible for me to enjoy something like this. I thought I'd never be able to get my mind off my thesis. But now, I feel like I'm fully enjoying myself. It's really great. So, what are we doing next?
Иногда можно обойтись без плана. Приятно просто прогуляться и посмотреть, что произойдет.
You're right. I've been doing research for so long that I'm used to having a certain routine. A carefree stroll. I like the sound of that. Wow. I never knew there was such a large lake here. It's so beautiful. The feeling of cool lake water can wash away all your troubles. Can you wait for a minute? I'd like to wash my face. I think it'd be refreshing.
Почему бы нам не искупаться?
A swim?
Да.
I can't remember the last time I went swimming. I might not even know how to anymore.
Если однажды научилась, то больше уже никогда не забудешь.
Okay. I'll try to swim over there.
Посмотрим, кто доберется быстрее. Давай, 1, 2, 3.
Wait, no. I'll definitely lose. No. Forget about winning or losing, Layla. It'll be fun either way. Wait, we're starting already? My guiding stars! As expected, I lost. How would I be able to beat an adventure at something like this?
Я боялся. По-моему, ты отлично плаваешь. Почти не устала, не отстала.
Really? Among my childhood friends, I was considered one of the more athletic ones. But that's just like how I used to think that I had a gift for learning. After coming to Sumeru City, I realized that I only thought that because my hometown is such a small place. On top of that, I'm getting weaker and weaker because I'm barely able to sleep nowadays. There's no way I can bring myself to brag about anything now.
Ты слишком строга к себе.
Please, you're always encouraging me. I'm starting to feel embarrassed. But swimming again really feels great. Every muscle in my body was engaged. I probably wouldn't have to worry about my thesis if I turned into a fish, don't you think? I'm just kidding, of course. I'm sure fish have worries of their own. I'm quite content with how things are right now. Let's keep going, shall we?
Как приятно гулять с Лайлой.
There's a mushroom here. You want to jump on it to see what's up there? I haven't done this in a while. I kinda want to give it a try.
Shadows of fate!
Царь горы! Praise the sun! Восславим солнце!
Nice and spicy.
We've walked pretty far now, but I barely felt the time passing by. I've been staring at books in my thesis every day. I've forgotten how nice and happy life actually can be.
Поэтому я и сказал, что учеба — это еще не вся жизнь.
You're right. No matter how much of a hard time I'm having in academics, I should still find the time to look after myself and fulfill my needs. You really understand more about life than I do.
Хочешь воспользоваться этой возможностью, чтобы полностью снять напряжение?
Release my stress? Oh, I see what you mean. Being at the top of a mountain really does make someone want to yell out loud. But it's a little uncivilized, isn't it?
Ничего, не зря мы сюда добирались. Теперь можем извлечь из этого максимум пользы.
Alright, I'll give it a try. Just promise not to laugh, okay?
Что будет кричать?
What an amazing day!
Какая прелесть.
It feels like my entire body is bubbling with excitement after yelling like that. This happiness was so common as a child, but before I knew it, this feeling was buried in the bottom of my heart. It's getting late. Why don't we rest here for a while? I'll tell you some interesting astrology stuff when the stars come out. Oh, but it's alright if you don't want to listen to that kind of stuff. We can also tell jokes about life, or talk about anything you're interested in.
Давай будем говорить о звездах, когда они появятся.
Okay, then I'll tell you more about me. The only reason I ever chose to study astrology is because of how beautiful the stars are at night. That's all. My teacher told me that nature possesses a certain power that grants people an equal amount of kindness and fairness, regardless of the different talents they may possess. And that's why I wanted to call the kind person who's always helping me as the blessing from the stars. The stars in the sky are something that brings happiness to people.
Звезды в небесах приносят людям счастье. Это точно.
Everything about home is filled with purity and passion. My memories of that place are wonderful. I never want to forget them. If I were to ever discard anything so pure, I don't think I'd ever be able to find a place to anchor myself in the vast sea of knowledge. That's why, no matter how tiring or how hard it gets, I won't let my family down. They are already an important part of me.
Еще одна причина, чтобы не терять себя в сложных условиях.
Yeah, thank goodness you were there to help me out, or I don't know where I would have ended up. We probably still have a while until the stars come out. Only kids sit around like this, waiting for the stars to appear.
Короткая передышка. Как знать, выдохлась ли она окончательно или просто наконец расслабилась. В любом случае, стоит поберечь эти драгоценные мгновения. Какая она хорошая, Лайлочка моя. Лайлусик.
Let's sit down here and have some coffee and sweets. It'll help me put my thoughts together. No. We're here to rest.
Oh, hey, Layla.
Huh?
I'm one of Layla's classmates. I just came by to say hi. We just submitted our... Seeing how relaxed...
Oh.
You say that, yet you're always going...
Well...
Почему ты так враждебно относишься?
For starters, she doesn't even try to participate with the group.
Это
Every
мы
time we
знаем
come
всё.
to... It's not like we...
I know.
У каждого есть право на выбор.
Sorry.
Whatever. There's no point. If you think she can justify...
I
Ну,
really
подожди,
want to
ну-ка.
help the help. Yeah, it's real. It's actually... huh? What do you mean?
Ты считаешь, что милость звезд — это внешняя сила, которой ты не управляешь?
Yeah, that's
Блин, это тоже было.
is, I'm terrible under pressure. That's just my nature. Even the thought of everyone's expectations back home is enough to make me feel nervous. And the more nervous I get, the worse things become around me. Take what Munira just said, for example. I don't think I'll be able to get it out of my mind for the entire day. That means I won't be able to relax at all today.
Почему бы не встретиться с проблемой лицом к лицу?
Face it head on? What should I do? Do you really think I can?
Просто разбей цель по написанию работы на мелкие задачи и реши их одну за другой.
Okay. I've got a pen and paper with me. Let me go through them real quick. The theory sections are pretty much finished. I'll be able to finish organizing the rest on my own. As of now, I'm missing crucial observation data. I need the results of an observation to validate the conclusion of my thesis. And then there's the preparation for my thesis defense. I'll need to mentally prepare.
Звучит не слишком сложно, я могу тебе помочь.
What? You want to help me with my thesis? Thank you. Thank you so much. I don't even know how to show you my gratitude.
Не переживай об этом, мы уже многого достигли.
You're so kind. I had no idea I'd meet someone so nice in Sumeru City. Okay, I'll do my best. It's the least I can do, considering everything you've already done for me. First on the list is the experiment to get observational data. I actually had it all planned out several days ago and even borrowed a celestial globe from a Mahamada. However, the weather was rainy every single day after I borrowed it, and I was unable to compare the night sky against the celestial globe. There were a lot of people waiting to borrow the celestial globe, and I wasn't able to extend my time slot, so I returned it and haven't been able to borrow it again since. That's why I still haven't performed the necessary observations yet. I don't know what to do.
Значит, тебе не хватает оборудования?
That's right. The celestial globe is a high-precision device used specifically for researching the stars. Submitting an application to borrow one from the academia is pretty much the only way for me to get my hands on one.
Похоже, нам стоит наведаться в гильдию искателей приключений.
Huh? Why the Adventurers Guild?
У Катерины много неожиданных знакомств.
Oh, I see. The Adventurers Guild is open to everyone's commission, so she might have some ideas. Okay, let's go and try our luck.
Ad Astra Episosk. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild. How can I help you today?
I'd like to... I have a commission... it's kinda strange. How should I put this?
Мы бы хотели где-нибудь одолжить звездный глобус.
Right. Equipment at the academia is in very high demand, and we aren't able to borrow one now. We were hoping someone else might have something similar that we could use.
I don't know anything about astrology, so I'm afraid I'm unfamiliar with the device you are looking for. However, one of our requesters happens to be an astrology enthusiast. I hear that he's a collector of all sorts of specialized astrology equipment. After the Adventurers Guild helped him out, he indicated that he'd be happy to return the favor if the adventurers ever need it. Perhaps we could arrange a meeting between you two. That should help solve your problem.
Really?
Спасибо тебе, Катерина.
You're welcome. It's my job to provide adventurers with the necessary support. The man's name is Azam. Here is his address. You can go ahead and pay him a visit. Ad Astra.
Shadows of fate!
Booba, get them!
Hello, are you Azam?
Yes, I am. How may I help you?
Вы объясняете заму цель своего визита.
Ah, I see. Well, if it's a request from an adventurer, then I'll be happy to help you. I just so happen to have the device that you're looking for. Let me fetch it and show you, just to be sure.
Yes, this is it. Thank you so much. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just got a little excited. Please go ahead.
To be honest, judging by what stands before me, I find it very hard to believe that you're an astute AstronYS student.
Well...
Astrology is a hobby of mine, and these devices have cost me both time and mora to collect. I cherish them as if they were members of my own family. Which is why I don't let just anyone borrow them on a whim. These devices are delicate and can easily be damaged if used inappropriately.
Oh, that's completely understandable. What can I do to better gain your trust?
How about this? I don't need a deposit or anything, but I'd like you to share the contents of your research with me. I'll ask you some questions. If your explanation proves satisfactory, then I'll lend you the device.
Share the contents of my research and answer questions?
Не нервничай, просто расскажи что-то, ты знаешь.
Alright, I'll try. But I can't disclose the actual details to you. How about a general overview of the research? Would that suffice?
Yes, that would be fine.
You're probably aware that astrologists rely on the movements of celestial bodies to calculate the past and the future, as well as attempt to summarize the correlating principles, correct?
Of course. This is the basic principle of astrology.
My current research is about a certain phenomenon called astral shift.
Interesting. That's not a topic any ordinary person would be familiar with. I have a basic understanding of the concept, but I'd like to hear you explain it.
Okay. Well, in short, it means that the results derived from astrology are prone to change. As time continues to flow, the stars change and everything else becomes affected by this change. However, what's actually driving the change is what's worth investigating.
I think that it might just be another law of nature.
If the changes follow a certain pattern or routine, then it could be explained as some law. But the changes are manifold, even when considering just a single star. The changes could be resulting from a simple single orbit shift, or it could be a more complex double orbit, or even a triple or quadruple orbit shift. These phenomena have a dramatic effect on astrological conclusions. What I'm working on now is the research and prediction of the triple orbit shift phenomenon.
Triple orbit? By yourself?
Yes. That's right.
You do know that adding an extra star to the equation increases the computational workload by more than 10-fold, right?
It does get a little complicated, but it's still manageable with the use of a few self-invented techniques and a large number of star logs and star charts. Which leads us to why I'm in need of a high-precision celestial globe.
Amazing. I suppose I should never have judged a book by its cover. I thought you were just trying to half-heartedly deal with some school assignment.
Do I really look like that sort of person?
Don't worry. I'm just joking. I was a little cautious at first, but now I trust you completely. It would make me extremely happy if my collection could assist a researcher in achieving tangible results. Just make sure you return it to me once you're done.
Oh, thank you so much. I really needed this. Good thing Azam was willing to hear me out.
Я не понял, о чем вы говорили, но ты вроде отлично справилась.
Really? I was just explaining what it is I'm trying to do.
Ты начинаешь вести себя как настоящий ученый, Лайла.
Really? I don't know if you really mean it, but I'm happy to hear that. I guess even the hardest problems can be solved as long as I'm willing to try. Recording and comparing data will be much easier now that we have this device. I can do it all on my own, too. Let's continue with the plan. Can you help me with the rehearsal of my thesis defense? We can do that at the House of Dina.
You're quite welcome. It makes me happy to see my equipment being used to its potential.
If there's nothing better to do, we could go foraging for ingredients. and spicy.
Delve into destiny.
This seems like the best spot to do this. We'll need to be quiet so we don't disturb anyone. So here's what will happen during my thesis defense. After I present my thesis, the advisors sitting below will begin to ask questions. Theoretically, I should be able to answer any questions related to my thesis. However, I tend to get really nervous when my advisors look at me, and I end up completely forgetting what I plan to say. That's why I want to rehearse and practice presenting my points in front of someone.
Значит, я играю роль наставника-рецензента?
That's right. You should have gotten the gist of the content of my thesis when I was explaining it earlier, so ask away. It's okay if your questions are a little off. I'll still treat them as real questions from an advisor and answer seriously.
Все ясно, начнем?
Wait a moment. Alright, Layla, you got this. You were able to explain everything earlier, so you can do it again. Alright, ask away.
Можешь рассказать о смещении по 4 орбитам?
Huh? I doubt they'd ask about something so irrelevant. The differences are considerable and the astrological effects are entirely different. We need to consider how the effects offset and, I'm sorry. I'm not very knowledgeable in that area. And that's my answer to your question. Do you have any other questions?
Несмотря на несколько запинок, Лали успешно ответит на все вопросы.
We're finally done. I'm gonna need more practice. I can feel myself getting flustered, and I start to stumble whenever I'm asked questions that I'm unfamiliar with.
Можно еще поработать над твоими формулировками, но все твои рассуждения звучат логично.
Oh, really? You mean it?
Конечно, всерьез.
Then this practice must be helping. During my first thesis defense, I stood like a statue on the stage and my palms were covered in sweat. I couldn't get a single word out.
Похоже, мы смогли разобраться со всеми основными проблемами.
I didn't even realize it, but you're right. It doesn't seem like there's anything holding me back now. I guess that means I'm capable of completing the thesis all on my own. I can hardly believe it. This is amazing. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just that I'm really excited. This is the first time this has happened, really. I'm so happy.
Ты упорно трудилась ради этого, тебе больше не нужно полагаться на других.
I'm not sure how to put this. I'm really happy about everything that's happened, but I'm also feeling a little sad. I still don't know anything about the blessing from the stars. Will it never happen again since I don't need its help anymore? That somehow makes me feel a little lonely.
Одиноко?
Yeah, it almost makes the blessing feel like it was just a tool used for my studies, no? But I would really like to discover what the blessing actually is, if I ever get the chance. I want to express my gratitude for it, or better yet, maybe we could be friends. That's basically how I feel about it. Even if I know nothing about the blessing, I could still feel its companionship all along. It's almost like how you helped me. I really cherish and appreciate it. After all, It wouldn't be right to take such blessings for granted in our lives.
Уверен, милость звезд была бы счастлива узнать о твоих чувствах.
That's good. I hope it's a little more satisfied with the way I am now.
Отражение 1000 звезд? Опа-на, а чё тут несколько концовок? Очень интересно.
This seems like the best spot to do this. So here's theoretically, however, that's why I want. It's okay if your questions are. All right.
Это знаешь, великолепно. Можешь кратко описать применение закона вычисления смещения по 3 орбитам?
Sure. The direction of this research is based on the results of previous research. It's about the feasibility of applying my methodologies to the remaining triple orbit problems. Based on a sample size of 124 cases, we could only achieve approximately 60% accuracy. The results were not reliable enough to be implemented as a law. You can see the common traits of the erroneous samples on page 3. Excuse me, I mean from the star logs in the appendix. It's clear that in each of the erroneous samples, one of the stars underwent a significant shift. This means that, we not only need to limit the number of stars, but we may also need to consider the degree of shift when applying triple orbit shift algorithms. Stars with greater shifts are often key in astrology readings. The next step of the research should be... the next step should be to identify the feasible thresholds of shift for applying our calculations. And that's my answer to your question. Do you have any other questions?
Несмотря на несколько запинок, Клавия успешно задать на все вопросы.
We're finally done. I'm gonna need more practice. I can... Oh, really? Then this I didn't even... I guess I can hardly... Oh, I'm sorry. I still don't... That's... Yeah, but I would read that...
Блин, надо было тут, что ли,
How
ответить?
you help me. That's good.
Блин. Подожди, а какая там фотография?
Can't decide whether pyro slimes taste better with salt and pepper or garlic and herbs.
like the best spot, so theoretic. However, that's why it's okay if your question. Wait. All right.
Ты знаешь о великолепной машине?
No. What is that? Is this something that I didn't prepare for at all? You've got to be joking. About this question, I'm sorry. I'm not feeling very well. Everything is spinning.
Ты в порядке?
I'm sorry. I haven't been sleeping very well lately. I tend to get dizzy from time to time, but don't worry, I'm fine now. What's wrong?
Я жду, когда ты ответишь на мой вопрос.
Oh, sorry. Can you please repeat the question? I didn't hear you clearly just now.
Думаю, дело не в том, что ты меня не расслышала.
All right. I guess the cat's out of the bag. Of all the times to wake up. You're Layla's friend, right? And from the looks of things, the two of you are preparing for her thesis defense?
Да, дорогуша, а ты должна быть милой звезд?
With her long-term sleep deprivation, whenever her anxiety peaks, she loses consciousness and I take over. However, her unpredictable and varying sleep patterns are completely out of my control, so I have to make every second count. There's no one willing to help her here, so I have to step in. I am rather curious about you, though. Why are you trying to help her?
Она наконец-то решила встретить проблемы со своей работой лицом к лицу и очень усердно трудится.
Really? That's great. You're helping with all the things that I used to do for her. Seems like you've given her a boost of confidence with your encouragement. Now then, I can't really help her prepare for the thesis defense, so I'll be leaving some notes behind instead. You'll have to give them to her later. Okay, I should get started on those notes. If there's anything you're curious about, you may go ahead and ask now. I can answer you as I write. I'm used to multitasking. Oh, and I have to ask a favor. When you give the notes to her later, please don't tell her about my existence.
Но почему?
Well, she's always been in a fragile state. If she knew that there was another Layla who's always taking care of everything, she might feel like everything she's ever worked for is pointless, and that could lead to some demoralizing thoughts. She's a resilient girl, but no matter how resilient she may be, no one can hold up to criticism and torment from themselves. If her condition grows any worse, it's possible that I might cease to exist as well. Then there wouldn't be anyone to help her.
Ну, ей сейчас тяжело приходится.
She's getting better though, isn't she? It's apparent how hard she's working now. She's my source of knowledge. I'm merely the representation of how she would be if she were rested and healthy. I believe that she's one of the best, even in a place like the academia where geniuses come by the handful. But growth is a process and shouldn't be rushed. I will always believe in and support her.
Хорошо, что у нее есть ты, иначе она бы давно оказалась на дне.
Believe me, even if she were to end up at rock bottom, she'd find a way to somehow laugh it off as one of her silly mistakes and climb her way out. That's the kind of person she is. Alright, I've written down all the possible questions that I think the advisors might ask. Next, I'll put together a few words of encouragement for her. I'm not going to sign it, obviously. Oh, and don't forget about our agreement.
Она никогда не встретится, но она всегда будет рядом с ней.
Time for a quick snack? I'll whip one up in no time.
Hello?
Yeah. Ah,
Yes, this is...
astrology is a hobby of mine, and these devices have cost me both time, which is...
Oh,
How about if you're...
Если плохо себя покачивать, двери будет не звоню.
You're starting to make me feel nervous. I'm sorry. I feel a little dizzy.
Ты в порядке?
I'm okay. My mind just decided to stray elsewhere for a moment. Give me a second to gather myself. Oh, is this the celestial globe that I needed to borrow?
Почему она спрашивает?
Correct. I was about to test you with a few questions, but you suddenly started looking very uncomfortable.
Oh, don't worry about it. I don't sleep very well, so I tend to get a little dizzy from time to time. I'm fine now.
She seems a little different all of a sudden. Oh, I see. Well then, can you briefly summarize your area of research for me?
With pleasure. I'll give you a general overview. You're probably aware that astrologists rely on the movements of the celestial bodies to calculate the past and the future. Due to the difficulty of designing an experiment and the challenges of validating theories about the past, astrological research is usually based on an immense foundation of experience. And therein lies the largest complexity. Derived and validated conclusions may vary due to subtle changes caused by the flow of time and shifts in the stars.
Ah, I've heard about this before. I believe it's known as astral shift.
One of the most classic challenges is to use 3 stars with shifting orbits to predict the overall changes that may have occurred.
Ah, are you referring to the triple orbit problem? Yes, that really is a classic problem, and a very difficult one to tackle.
I came up with a set of prediction methods that encompass more than half of the triple orbit problems. However, there are quite a few limitations and requirements. This set of methods is already being put into practice at the AstronYS Darshan by my advisor, drastically simplifying the difficulty of calculations involved in the triple orbit problem.
Yes, I've heard about that. The announcement made big waves in the astrology enthusiast community. So, you were the one who came up with that?
You mustn't judge a book by its cover, you know. The thesis I'm working on this time aims to address the remaining triple orbit problems, as well as eliminate a portion of the methodology's limitations, which will make it easier to use.
I see. In that case, perhaps there's no one more fitting to operate this device than you. I just keep it as part of a collection. I can't use it to its full potential like you can.
Thank you for understanding. I'll return it in perfect working order once I'm finished with it. Okay, we should be going now. What did we plan to do after this? I kind of forgot.
Ты ведь не Лайла.
Huh? What makes you say that? Is there something off about me?
Твой характер изменился.
Fine. Looks like I can't keep the act up any longer. I even tried to look a little panicky to emulate her behavior.
Это ты стоишь за милостью звезд?
I suppose that is what she's been calling me. With her long-term sleep deprivation, whenever her anxiety peaks, she loses consciousness and I take over. However, her unpredictable and variable sleep patterns are completely out of my control, so I have to make every second count. There's no one willing to help her here, so I have to step in. I am rather curious about you, though. Why are you trying to help her? Really? That's great. You're helping with all the things that seems like you've given her a boost. She's only steps away from the finish line. Anyway, what's the plan from here?
Она хотела потренироваться перед защитой работы.
I see. Well, it wouldn't be of any help if I practiced for her, but I'll leave some notes that should come in handy. Come on, let's go back to the house of Dana to make preparations. You'll have to tell her later when she wakes up.
А, мы сейчас все равно, наверное, до сюда дойдем. Типа можно было двумя способами пройти.
Shadows of fate! Okay, I should get started on those notes. If there's anything you're curious about, you may go ahead and ask. Oh, and I have to ask a favor. Well,
Ну, это уже было
she
всё.
might feel she's a if her condition grows any she's my I believe, but growth is a that's the I'm not going.
Да. Завершите встречу молчаливых, звезды, откройте все концовки. Получить. Она уже очень волнуется. Помогите Лайзе завершить научную работу, но не заставляйте ее беспокоиться еще больше. Ладно, прошли, хорошо. Спасибо большое всем, кто смотрел, общался. Приходите к нам как-нибудь еще. Обязательно поиграем в эту замечательнейшую игру под названием Genshin Impact. До новых встреч, ребята. А, нет, подождите, не до новых встреч. Давайте сделаем кое-что напоследок. Так. Богини трех лун, что некогда правили первозданными небесными сферами, согревая весь мир своей страстной любовью, давно ушли в небытие. Но те, кто следует за приливом, продолжают петь и молиться, ибо новая луна однажды вернется. Когда пала вечная луна, небо с землей перевернулось. Когда радужная луна разбилась, багровая тень легла в морскую пучину. Когда морозная луна остановилась, страны и города пришли в упадок. Что-то невиданное, но неизбежное зреет в тени лунного света. Люди подлунного мира, ждите поворота Луны, ибо оно принесет новые откровения. Вот такая штука, ребята. Будем ждать. Ну а мы на этом, пожалуй, закончим. Всем большое спасибо и до новых встреч.
So, where to, Mona?
Wherever the stars will guide us.